Hi, this is XGer21, and this is Game 1, Match 1 of Stage 3 of Friendly Sealed 6 and Kaladesh and Aether Revolt Sealed League. So we'll start off by winning the die roll and then seeing what the opening hand is. This is a relatively straightforward hand. It has some early action in the Artisan and the Freighter, and it also has one of the more powerful cards with Monstrous Onslaught, as that can allow it to 3-for-1. And with 3 lands in hand, I just don't think there's going to be many 6 cards hands that will be better than this one in front of me. My opponent did mulligan to 6, so there's that. For the first couple turns, I'm just going to speed through, as there's no point in sitting here watching very basic things happen. So at this point, I could consider finding a way to get rid of the Aether Poisoner, but the easiest play is to just play the Artisan, make a servo, and have the servo essentially hold off the Poisoner, because very few people want to trade the Poisoner for a servo, especially when I have a threat like the Freighter down, as that gives them the option to prevent that simply because of Death Touch. So I simply just make the servo with the Artisan and pass back. And then here I decide not to do anything, as I do have several removal options that could kill the Poisoner. I could use Nature's Way, I could use Prey Upon, and I could use Rogue Privileges. However, it is just an Aether Poisoner, and right now neither of our boards is that strong, so there's very little reason for me to want to kill it right now. And so I decide to just wait. My opponent has just played Implement of Combustion, which is the second worst of the implements in Limited, I would say, behind, or only in front of the white one, and I still don't believe this one is playable at all. As we see here, he's already played one other implement, and they end up playing several more, so I believe their deck was just trying to cycle through as fast as possible to maybe try and hit the best cards in their deck. They ended up with a large number of implements, and they have a couple of improvised cards, as we'll see. So we will, for right now, just continue and wait. And then here, obviously, I don't crew up the Freighter and attack, because I would just lose my Freighter to the Poisoner, and next turn I can use Nature's Way to clear off the Poisoner and not have to worry about it. And my opponent has now played yet another implement, this one the black one. This one's okay. It's kind of... It's not nearly as good as, say, a Mind Rot, just because it's on the board, so I know it's there. And so it can't really get you as much as a Mind Rot can later on. And here you see me making the play I was talking about, of just using Nature's Way to clear off that and get in for 6 damage. And then my opponent just plays an ice over to keep this tap down, and they play the improvised card I was talking about. They have the Winkin Raiders. However, as you can see, my hand has plenty of removal for it, so I simply start by placing the Revolt Privileges and continue to poke at my opponent's life total. And then here they have played Brawl's Expertise, and they targeted their Winkin Raiders, their Prophetic Prism, and my Servo, which gives them a fair bit of value, and they then also get to play the Vengeful Rebel, which lets them kill off. However, at this point I'm still not that concerned, as they have mostly kind of dirtled around, and I still have a handful of removal, so I'm not terribly concerned about what's happening here. And of course I drew the Nissa here, and so especially on a board this empty, it makes perfect sense to play the Nissa. Even if they have something to remove this land, I can crew up the Freighter to block, so I feel perfectly comfortable with Nissa this way. And I think it's just a card that you really want to get on the board as soon as possible. And then my opponent here plays their most threatening card in Tezzeret's Touch and on their Prophetic Prism, so if I do kill this, they get to draw an extra card when they replay it, which is a bit unfortunate. However, they don't really have a super profitable attack, because at this point I would trade, and essentially I'm trading a land for that, and they probably just feel too bad with that, and only lets them get in for 3. Another option for me, obviously, would be to just eat the Vengeful Rebel and let Nissa go down to 1. So they end up deciding not to attack, as it's just not profitable enough for them. And then here, this is where I was talking about saving the Monstrous Onslaught. I did use it to kill both the Windkin Raiders and the Vengeful Rebel. I'm perfectly fine leaving the 5/5 Prism on the table, as I will trade the land for it. And this is at a safe level that I'm not that concerned at this moment. And I'd rather get 2 creatures out of the way with the Monstrous Onslaught than 1. As I said, my opponent continues to kind of durdle around. They just played Tezzeret's Ambition to draw 3 cards. And they did play the Maverick Thopterist, which does present 2 flyers to work at Nissa. But with my hand the way it is, I'm still not particularly concerned about what's happening. And then I go ahead and decide to use the Revoke Privileges on the Prism. It kind of negates the Tezzeret's Touch in a very nice way. They're not going to get a return into their hand, and it just kind of wastes that on their Prism there. And then I decided to just play the Shield Guard. The life totals are different enough that I think it's just safe to attack here. I do want to protect Nissa at least somewhat, so I leave back with the land, and I'd rather attack with the Trampler. If they had wanted to trade all 3 of these for the Freighter, I would have been fine with that. One thing you just noticed is my opponent did pop the Implement of Malice when I had just Prey Upon in hand. And so that was a poor play on my part, but I believe it was worth it given what I had here. The Prey Upon's not super good against either. I mean, it kills any of these, but it's not worthwhile. And my opponent was going to eventually pop the Implement of Malice anyway. And here he just brings Nissa down, and my opponent then has to 2-for-1 themselves to get my Council's Shield Guard off the, Shield Guard off the board. They had to use Furious Reprisal and Shock. They hit me, but redirected to Nissa. I'm mostly fine with that because that's 2 spells I had to use to get rid of my 1 creature, and my Planeswalker still on the board. At this point, though, Nissa was already down to 4 loyalty. Even if I start ticking up, it doesn't take much for them to be able to kill off Nissa. And so I decided it's better to use Nissa's second ability and return the Shield Guard to my hand, so that I can have something to continue to crew this Freighter, as the Trample is going to be really what lets me carry away with the game. And my opponent here plays yet another Implement of Malice. Like I said, they have a lot of durdling they're kind of doing here. They pop it in hoping of getting me with something, but I just had a forest in hand. And they do attack with just the 1 to finish off Nissa. However, one thing you'll notice is that means they can't kill my Renegade Freighter this next turn, and since they're at 3 life, they actually have to throw both of these in front of the Freighter just to stay alive. So I'm not entirely sure that this is the wisest choice for them, because I could use it to bring another attacker in. It does make things a little bit difficult for them. They're just kind of in a hard position at this point. And despite all their drawing of cards, they still don't have another creature to play, so they have to double block here, not kill my Freighter, and then they concede with nothing else to do. I will see you in game 2.